when I started studying, I did my BBA in Iran. And then I moved to India more than 21 years ago to do my MBA, and then continued with a PhD. I always had that this is strong side of me, that this side wanted to experience life. I would not really settle for less than what in my head was the best. And as we all know, because I really try to remember myself like 25 years ago, 20 years ago, because when I wanted to give a talk to people, I wanted to have everything that the people can actually connect with me. Because when you see a woman who been to 7 continents, 110,000 kilometers, 64 countries in one round trip, and the part that been mentioned in the introduction, which I got married middle of the ride when I reached Machu Picchu, and I left one day after my wedding, continue solo to finish my world ride because that was my dream. And I started continent Africa pregnant with my baby. And I had the choice to stop my dream or continue, which I decided to continue. And I reached home back to India, to Delhi, when I was 6 months and a half pregnant, which I don't remark that because it's a matter of safety. And I want each and every woman who sits on a motorbike to be safe. I don't want to encourage them to, you know, it's okay, be pregnant on a motorbike, because it just, you know, you're taking a risk really high. But for me, it was a different story. I was already in my journey a year before I be pregnant on a motorbike. I'm giving you that example for you to understand the risk that I can take is unheard of. Because, not because I'm so different with you guys. No, I'm a human like any of you. Yesterday was a Woman Day. Sometimes I love cliche, sometimes I don't like cliche. Like, for example, when it's a day that I call for love, I celebrate love. The day that is a Woman Day, I wish to everyone, but I always back of my head was wish instead of saying Women's Day, if we say Human's Day, because all of us, doesn't matter what gender we are a woman, we are a man, we are in between. Now there are many other genders that have been introduced as well. We are human. We're going through life, and life never been easy. I try to teach my 6-year-old daughter to give him a little pinch of reality, and I keep telling her, Mommy need to tell you, everything is prepared and created for you, but life isn't so easy. When you fall, it hurts. It's part of life. And when you grow up, it's not going to get better. It's going to get tougher. That's the reason I'm saying all of us, whoever is sitting here, whoever going to hear this conversation later on, I feel we need to celebrate how far we came in life, how much struggle we had, and where we have reached. Get back to all the risk, everything. When we start living our life, we are a human who came to this world. None of us got manual. Like when you buy a fridge, it comes with manual. Where to put it, how long to keep it on, and then what you do, the door shouldn't be on. And we as human, we come to this world and trying to figure each and everything by ourselves. We get the help of religion. We get the help of society rule. We get the help of our family, our parents, our friends. But what will be a right path to take? What will be a right way to take forward? It's always been a question, because we are all individuals. What makes me happy might work a little different with you. Very early in life, I start understanding this important formula, which we have plenty of paths to take in life. And we will get the path and we go through it. And the path can just move towards different direction, different path. And I always have an ability to choose my next direction, the next path, where I want to go. But I have to start, because if I don't start, it's just going to be reaching in life which is say, oh, I'm bored, I don't know what I'm doing to my life. I don't have a word bored in my dictionary. I don't even understand how you can get bored. When they ask me what do you need, if you had one wish, which could be granted, can be as crazy as possible what you wanted, I ask for more time per day. Because 24 hours per day, it doesn't seem that I can do whatever that I want to do. The concept of who we want to be in our life is a very wide concept, because I believe we can be anybody we want in our life. I came to India, study MBA. I went to, after that I moved to UK because I thought that I want to do my PhD there. In a couple of weeks, I felt that India is not finished for me. This motherland wants me back, and I wanted to come back. I came from Iran to India. I didn't go get homesick. I went from India to UK. I got homesick. I came back to India. I started my PhD. I got introduced to the company to do my project in that company as a management trainee and work on a PhD project that I had. I said, yes, I want to do that. I want to go to that company. Within 12 years, starting from management training, I got head of the 2 department of that company, one of the biggest construction company of India, head of the marketing and retail. And when I was living and putting my paper down, I was a vice president of the company, which when I wanted to leave, these free-spirited women, these women who were trying to get connected to her own feelings and said, that's the right move to do, was called the absolute Bohemian. But then behind the entire journey was a woman who followed tradition, listened to the family, studied till PhD, listened to the society, work really hard, 12 to 14 hours a day, get to never give up, continue working. And then, yes, that woman decided in the age of 35, which I think with the lifestyle that we have, I'm talking about myself, 70 years will be a life that I can actually live, and 35 was right in the middle. And I wanted to know what I want to do in my life. I was Maral, the fashion designer. I launched my brand in 2012 in Paris, showcased in Rome, Milan, London. I was part of London Fashion Week, Dubai a couple of times, India. Then I was Maral, the corporate, the vice president of the company in India. And then I was Maral to hold a PhD in marketing and management. Then it get too complicated, and I reached a point I said, what is life about? What we are all chasing? What is happiness? We just heard happiness. Everybody say, oh, happiness. And we use it as like a every day of happiness, happiness. What is happiness? When the people wanted to chase money, happiness is money. When the people wanted to chase peace, happiness is peace. When the people don't have time in their life, happiness comes time. When the people are not married, they see happiness in marriage. When the people is married, they see happiness being single. And we are chasing something which is lacking in our life. And very soon I understood, like any other thing in our life, happiness is the practice to be happy. Be where you are in your life, accept what is not changeable, and change what is in your hand that you can change it. For me, everything is practice. My brain works in the simplest stuff. Accept what you cannot change, because fighting back is just wasted your energy, and the direction that you want to put your energy can be something constructive. And start changing what you don't like. When it's in your hand, change it. In the age of 35, I said, I have money, I have position, and these two bring power. But the power is a concept which is very shaky. I can be so powerful in the town that I'm working, on a desk that I'm sitting, ordering my team around, make sure with my email everything is sorted. And then I fly to another country, which I don't know the language, I don't know anything, and I'm having a hard time to order a cup of coffee with my sandwich. What power means? What is the power that I had ruling everything in my own town? I figure out when you go out of your comfort zone, there is no power. There's nothing. And how we can push all these barriers and limits and then do it? You have to jump out of your comfort zone. We heard it everywhere. There are so many posts on social media which talk about this. But I'm standing here. I've been told in my first TEDx talk, do not move from a round circle. It took me 10 years to learn that do not move around the red circle that I'm standing on. When I'm standing here, right middle of this red circle for you, I live that life. I'm not talking about the book I read or the YouTube videos I watch or the posts that show up in my feed on Instagram. I lived that life. You jump out of your comfort zone. Everything is really hard. Right 2 minutes before I come on this stage and I give you a speech, I was talking to a friend of mine. She is German and she's doing a world ride. When she reached here in Leh Ladakh, we met. She came to my house, we stayed together. And a couple of months ago in December, I met her in Bali. She reached Bali. And today morning she messaged me and she said, unfortunately, she met with an accident crossing the river and the bike fell off on her leg and she had to go through the surgery. And for another 6 months, she's stationary and she can't move. Yes, the risk is there. The pain is there. The hard time is there. The emotions is there. But how much you're ready to jump out and take it, make a story of you. We given one life, no joke. And when I'm on a motorbike, in the next turn, anything can happen to me. One wrong break, one my mistake, his mistake, her mistake, my life is finished. And when I'm done, of course, my child, my husband, my friends gonna really feel sad about it for a week, for a month, for 3 years, for 4 years, but life is over. Finish, is full stop. When you realize that, you start living a life instead of passing your days. I left my corporate job, long conversation. Everybody were asking me, what was the hardest thing that you had on a world ride? And they were thinking that I have to say, the road I crossed, those countries, that border. But the hardest time that I have on a world ride was my mind. To convince my mind to leave. When you have everything set in your life, when you have so many people that telling you you're doing a mistake. You are doing your biggest mistake of your life. And for me to control my mind was the hardest job. And I think as human, dealing with our mind is the hardest thing. Some people are lucky and have a more quiet mind. I'm not that. I have a very, very aggressive, high expectation mind, which keep asking for more and more from me. And there is a saying that they say, the sky is the limit. I think it's very passé, it's very old. I think our mind is the limit. Because human proven, if your mind say you can, you make a telephone. If your mind say you can, you make electricity. If the mind you can fly, you make the aeroplane. And now the people already reached the space, then the sky is not the limit. Controlling and managing the mind, how I strengthen the mind. You go every day, eat the right food, do the bodybuilding for your body, your mind needs exercises as well. As I said to start with, this very, very bohemian woman in front of you, which has a very strong traditional side to it, love old school. Paper, pen. In each and every talk that I give, I requested everyone, even one of you do that, and you reach the result, I think the message that I had to pass is done. When you have a paper in front of you and you write, what is your dream? If you say you don't have any dream in your life, you can't be my friend. Because then which direction you're going? Like, for example, I'm here, I'm gonna tell you when I finish the talk, I wanna go to Jaipur. But then I know which route to take to go to Jaipur. But when I say when I finish my talk, I don't know where am I going. Where am I going? Which direction I'm going? Am I going to Jaipur? Am I going to Chandigarh? Am I planning to go back to Pune where I lived for 15 years? That's the first stop of the confusion. Need to know the dream. Dreams are the light that just let you choose which direction you want to go. Then you start skilling up, getting there. And you always have this choice and chances to divert wherever you want. It's your own life. Own it. Make your own story. When I started my world ride, being a woman, not even being long past from my biking experiences, everybody called me crazy. Which now I think that the patch that this jacket needs is a crazy. And this jacket is usually in a frame. I keep it in a frame on a wall. And it's very, very special occasion I take it out, and now for this TEDx is one of the occasions that I take this jacket up to wear it, because I wanted to really show you about this both side, the topic, and actually the life is. And the dreams, 1, 2, 3, which direction I'm going, what I'm doing, and how I'm doing. Did I face problems in the journey? Of course, everyone does. Did I had bad choices? Plenty of them. But what's the difference? I own each and every of them. You can bring me down from my past mistakes. Yeah, the one that you heard was nothing. I'm gonna tell you the worst one. And you own it. Nobody can bring you down. Bohemian, more than being a free-spirited, being or going against what society tell you, or being strong enough to live your life, is an attitude. The attitude which gonna take you from point A to point B, and finally have that smile when you're gone. How I check what a life I live, every day I check. If I die tomorrow, oh, you can party for me. I lived each and every minute of it. And that's something that I wanted to do. You start thinking about it, note down all the things that you want to reach, all your dreams. Then you have a side which, what is stopping you from, what not is stopping you from, and what the strength you have that you can achieve it. And in that, it becomes like you and the character right in front of you. Then as soon as you put, this is some magical thing about writing, because your brain tells your hand and nerve to write it, your eyes see it, then you read it, your ears hear it. And when you're telling existence, I'm a believer, it will happen. And then you go through that, you make sure everything is set, everything done, the tick box is there, and then you reach that point, change it to another thing, change it to another thing. I lived 43 years in this planet. And I can tell you, I enjoyed each and every minute of it. And 20 years ago, my answer would be different. Exhausted, never had anything, any shape, any. But now, it feels like a puzzle, everything falling in the right place. Make sure you have a story to tell. One life, you need to have a story that the people ready to hear your story. If you don't have a story, start writing today. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Maral Yazarloo-Pattrick. Thank you.